Hello, I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn pleads guilty this morning to making false statements to the FBI. According to the special counsel's charge, Flynn made the false statements to the FBI on January 24th, 2 days after he was sworn in as National Security Advisor. ABC's Serena Marshall is live in Washington with the latest.
A former high-ranking Trump administration official, Michael Flynn, has pled guilty to lying to the FBI. He said in a statement his decision to cooperate with the special counsel was in the best interest of his family and country.
Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn arrived in court this morning pleading guilty after being charged with lying to the FBI. The special counsel charged Trump's former senior advisor with knowingly lying to the FBI about the nature of those infamous phone calls and text messages between himself and then Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. One call happened the same day the Obama administration imposed new sanctions on Russia for their election meddling. That's also the same call Flynn was fired for lying to the vice president about just 1 month into the job. The December 2016 calls raised red flags for the Obama administration and led to them advising President Trump against selecting Flynn as his national security advisor, citing concerns he was vulnerable to being blackmailed by the Russians.
He may potentially be able to fill in blanks like particular meetings, things were said, things that were promised.
But even after his firing, the president still supported Flynn.
I don't think he did anything wrong. If anything, he did something right.
And former FBI Director James Comey says the president in private asked him to let the Flynn investigation go. Flynn faces up to 5 years in prison and is considered a key figure in the investigation.
There appears to be a lot of evidence that people around the president have had interactions with the Russians, and that some of it may have violated the law.
Pleading guilty to lying mirrors George Papadopoulos, Trump's former campaign policy advisor, who is now cooperating with the special counsel.
The White House says the false statements that Mr. Flynn made mirror the statements that he told them and implicates no one other than Mr. Flynn. But in court today, prosecutors said Mr. Flynn called senior members of the campaign in between those phone calls to the Russian ambassador. Live at the U.S. District Court, Serena Marshall, ABC News.
Here at home, Sarasota City Commissioners vote to stay with an approved plan to redevelop the Lido Beach Pavilion using private money. Last night's vote comes just a week after commissioners first approved a lease agreement for that property, where the tenant would pick up the bill for renovations and a 200-seat restaurant. City commissioners discussing last night to rescind that lease agreement, but that motion failed by a 3-2 vote after commissioners considered the possibility of a lawsuit against the city. So the 10-year lease agreement will now move ahead as planned.
What was approved was actually what the residents had asked for on Lido Beach, and I think eventually they're going to love it.
We gave the City Commission a presentation on this, and it's gotten sideways now. It's much bigger than what we really wanted out there.
Lido Beach development partners say they are going to pump nearly $4 million into the worn-down pavilion and pool area, adding a splash pad, tiki bar, and an ice cream parlor in addition to the restaurant. Construction on the Lido Beach Pavilion could begin as early as next year, with it being completed by 2019. In Northport, Fairlane Drive closed today between Omega Court and Hightower Road. That section will not be open to drivers during business hours. Construction crews are replacing a storm water pipe in the area. Roadways are expected to reopen by the end of the day. Well, 1,400 of the best young tennis players in the world are playing this week at the IMG Academies in Bradenton. The Eddie Herr Classic is now in its 31st year, and ABC 7's Ray Collins is just back from the tournament and joins us with more today. Ray?
Well, Scott, Mother Nature must be a tennis fan. It's been a great week on 34th Street West in Bradenton. Over 1,000 players from 70 countries. Divisions range from 12 and under to 18 and under, boys and girls. One of the top players is from Bradenton. Whitney Oswego is 15, but she's top ranked in the 18s. Many of these players hope to turn pro, but many have to settle for college tennis instead. Now, I talked to the Academy founder, Nick Bollettieri, about the reality check a lot of these players endure this week.
Out of the 3,000 players on the Pro Tour, only 1 to 2% make a living. That's all. So if you're not in the 70 or 80 of the world, you lose money. And that's why most of the coaches that are here from colleges are seeking out a lot of these kids to come to college, at least for a few years.
So play continues today and tomorrow. The finals are set for Sunday. Admission is free. Parking is $5. And from here, most of the players go on to South Florida and play in Miami in the Orange Bowl. Scott?
Future of the sport on display this week. Thank you, Ray. All right, as Ray mentioned, great weather for that tournament all week and just going into today as well.
Oh, spectacular.
Yeah.
This morning was absolutely beautiful. We even had some mid-50s across the region, so that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
And we had, as well, some lower dew point values most everywhere that made it feel very comfortable.
That's what I like the most.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think that'll probably last right straight through the weekend. Now, that'll probably start to go up again next week, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But at least the weekend looks great.
We'll enjoy it.
Yes, sirree. Van Wezel webcam put into motion shows those blue skies that greeted you this morning. Not much in the way of any kind of cloud cover to bother us so far. We did have a little bit of cloud move through from time to time in some locations, but for the most part, I think we're looking at cloud-free skies today. We have 78 degrees in Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Venice at 77, 76 degrees in Inglewood, 76 in Longboat Key. You can see the cloud cover to the north of us. That's all part of a frontal boundary that's kind of in the process of just falling apart across the region to the north. It's not going to make it through our area, but it will help to aid in keeping our winds a little bit more out of the north today, and that will tend to keep that drier area in place and secure us a daytime high that'll be about where we were yesterday in the low 80s. We'll have a nighttime low that'll probably drop off a little quicker, and will again tonight be in the 60s, looking at 77 by about dinner time tonight, though. All in all, everything looks very much on track for a beautiful weekend. We'll talk about that and a blast of cold air coming our way next week in just a few minutes. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street so far, and it's been quite the week for the Dow and the S&P 500, Jeff.
Scott, that is correct. Don't forget, we just saw 23,000 on the Dow last month. Yesterday, the Dow closed above 24,000. Very impressive. So far for the week, the Dow's up over 3%, while the S&P is up close to 2%. NASDAQ's positive, but only by 0.1%. So far, the week's been positive on all fronts. 10-year Treasury's currently trading around 2.39. Oil's been rising, about $57 a barrel. So a lot of interesting facts going on. And our buddy at Amazon became the richest man in the world with Amazon, Jeff Bezos, of the $100 billion mark. Very impressive. Well, I woke up this morning and the futures were negative, so let's see how we're currently trading. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is negative 288 points, trading just below that 23,984, down 1.2%. NASDAQ negative as well, 6,739, down 134 points, almost 2% just today. S&P 2,611, down 36 points, 1.3% in the negative.
Not the best day so far, but we'll see how it plays out. And I understand, Jeff, that GM is putting some pressure on Tesla in the self-driving car race.
We've been waiting for it, Scott, that is for sure. But they believe, GM, that is, in 2019, they'll have mass production of fully autonomous electric cars, mainly being used for the ride-sharing program, which they have started. And they believe eventually, believe it or not, the ride-sharing program will be bigger than just selling the cars, which is their current model. Today, they average about $30,000 a car, and they believe with this ride-sharing program, they'll be able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for the same vehicle. Electricity will be cheaper to build as well as run, obviously, and you're not going to have to pay a driver, so costs are going to be very cheap. Right now, it's just the Bolt that's electric, although they'd feel by 2019 there's going to be a couple more cars in GM's lineup. The Cruise is actually their department, which is the autonomous department for GM. And they've been practicing, if you will, with their employees in San Francisco so far. The ride-sharing program with autonomous cars, electric cars has been working. GM's up about 24% for the year. So we'll see how it continues, but Tesla should be paying attention to what's going on in the GM plant. That's for sure, Scott.
Okay. We'll watch it. Thanks so much, Jeff.
Have a great weekend.
You too. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why doctors say it's easy to gain weight during the holidays and even easier to avoid it. Plus, hundreds of Florida Keys residents joining together last night to light things on fire. We'll show you why when we come back.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature is creeping up there again at 78 degrees. We still have low dew points, though, in the low 60s. We had actually dew point in the 50s this morning. And I think we could probably see that dew point value again a little bit later on this evening. Now, during the afternoon, I think the dew points might go up just a little bit as our winds become first a little more easterly and then maybe even a little onshore right along the immediate coast for a few hours as we develop a kind of a sea breeze this afternoon. A lot of sunshine out there helping to boost our temperature probably into the low 80s once again. Current temperatures across the state are generally hugging near the near the 80 degree mark along our coastline and from points about, I'd say from Crystal River southward. North of that, we're still in the 70s, and back to the west, even cooler than that in the low 70s because of a fair amount of cloud cover that's been around there. Temperature is 81 degrees in Arcadia, Northport at 81, Punta Gorda coming in at 81, Boca Grande at 78, 79 in Venice, Bradenton at 78, Parrish at 78, Mayaca at 79, and Wauchula the same at 79. So not much in the way of a rainfall chance for us today. Just not really going to happen. The air is just too dry aloft, kind of suppressing those showers. We had a lot of showery activity earlier on as the frontal boundary started to make its way closer to the Florida Peninsula. But notice in the last few frames of our 12-hour loop, those showers just basically are falling apart. The reason is the front has ceased pretty much its forward motion. It's pulled up stationary and consequently is now kind of in the process of decay. If you can't get the front to move, you really can't get the air in front of it to rise. You think of the front in a sense kind of like a cattle catcher in the front of a car, maybe in front of a locomotive. You know, that cattle catcher kind of running along pushes air up into the sky, or a airfoil on the front of a car. Well, that's kind of what a front does. It pushes the air in front of it up, and if it stops, that air doesn't rise, doesn't cool, doesn't condense, doesn't produce rain showers, and so consequently all those rain showers kind of falling apart. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, back toward the west. And then the next front that we're watching, still up in the Pacific Northwest waters, gradually drifting in this direction, making it onshore a little bit later today. That one will team up with some Arctic air sinking southward and give us the potential of some big weather changes as we head into the end of next work week. For us, this front kind of falls apart. We watch this north wind continuing, mostly sunny skies, a dry weekend, and comfortable humidity right straight through the weekend. It looks like we'll have a beautiful evening tonight as we light the St. Armand's Christmas tree, and another beautiful evening tomorrow for the Sarasota Christmas Parade. The Futurecast shows those few showers kind of falling apart to the north of us, and we're left with really very little chance of rainfall right straight through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Even Monday and Tuesday look pretty good, despite the fact that Monday and Tuesday we will start to warm just a little bit and probably get a little bit more, humidity around. GFS computer model shows cold air sinking south next week, just in time for next weekend. You'll see it reflected in our extended range forecast. North wind at about 5 to 10. And the extended range forecast looks good. 81 today, tomorrow, Sunday just about the same. Get a little more humid Monday and Tuesday. Factor in a chance of rain as that next front approaches on Wednesday. And then the temperatures start to drop on Thursday, getting actually below average for the first time in quite some time. Scott?
The months surrounding the holidays are the easiest time for us to fall out of our normal eating habits. Research shows that not only do people tend to gain more weight during the holiday months, but also it can take up to 5 months to shed those unwanted pounds. And pounds that are not shed just accumulate from year to year, causing what experts refer to as weight creep. We tend to be routine in our eating habits, and the holidays get us out of that routine. And the extra snacks around the office probably don't help either. But there is a simple solution, according to doctors.
If you're someone who is trying to be more mindful during the holidays, stick to your routine. That's really going to help you to maintain your weight during the holidays.
While snacking at parties or at the office might seem like small changes, they do add up over time. So to keep your holiday weight in check, Dr. Elber says to practice the 4 M's: movement, mindful eating, minimize stress, and mellow out. Well, this is World AIDS Day. The theme this year, increasing impact through transparency, accountability, and partnerships. According to HIV.gov, more than 1 million people in the U.S. are HIV positive, and 1 in 7 of them don't even know it. With the advances in research and medicine, those who are living with the virus can prevent it from progressing to AIDS. There's no cure for HIV, but experts say it is not a death sentence as long as you know your status and get tested. All right, time now to head over to the kitchen and say hello to our guest today, Chef Narendra from Curry Station. Not only a chef, but the owner of Curry Station in Sarasota. Chef, great to have you with us today. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. Today we are making the scallop curry. It's one of my favorite dish. If you love seafood, you must have to try this dish, and it's simply very delicious.
Awesome. We'll be right back with you, Chef. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now, 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Have a great holiday.
Happy holidays from ABC 7.
Time again to meet our pet of the week. John is with the founder of Dante's Den and host of Animal Outtakes, Marsha Pernucci, to introduce Kilo. Guys?
Kilo, what a beautiful dog.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Oh my goodness, she is so sweet
yes,
too.
She's
is
our
she a full-bred Shep?
Yes, she is. She's our little Miss America. She is a black and white shepherd, as you can see.
That's kind of unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little bit, but isn't she gorgeous?
She
really
is
just gorgeous. She's not our typical stereotype shepherd. And Kilo comes to us, it's very, very unfortunate. Her mistress passed away very quickly in about 2 weeks.
Oh my.
And Kilo came to us, and she was very much in the beginning grieving. And you know, we've talked about this, John. The dogs do grieve.
Sure
They will cry and they will just get themselves all upset. And we just gave her extra love and, of course, a lot of extra treats. And here we are about 8 months later, because we don't rush them out of Dante's Den. We try to hang on to them as long as we can and give them love, because we are a sanctuary. And so Kilo now is ready for adoption. She's 9 years young.
Baby.
Her eyesight is pretty terrific for a
good.
9-year-old. And she's got good teeth and great health. Absolutely great health. And she runs around like a puppy. It gets to the point where we're chasing her and we're the ones that are out of breath.
Was she an only child in the household?
She was an only child,
okay.
and she would prefer to be an only child in the house because she can take care of any situation and she can be protective, but she wants to be very, very cuddly with you. She loves to ride in cars, John. She begs for it. She loves that wind on her face, and she's just a great gal.
Gorgeous face. Now, any health problems that we know of?
None that we know of at this
Free and
moment,
clear,
which is excellent for a 9 years young pup of this. She is, her coat, did you notice I just keep
so beautiful.
petting this coat? This coat is absolutely beautiful.
How many pounds is she coming in at, do you think?
Oh, she doesn't tell.
But she's probably too big for a condo, so we're looking for somebody with a yard, right?
Yes, yes. You know, the thing is, condos have the 25-pound limit.
Right.
And, of course, you know, sometimes we get them in, John, and we say, oh, well, they have a little weight problem, and they'll work it off. They never work it off, right? But a gal like this is probably going to need a home. She needs a backyard. She needs a fenced-in yard that she can run in.
Children? You know?
And
She's good with children?
she's good with kids.
Yeah. Okay.
As long as she's the princess of the house, she's fine.
Well, there you go. And how do they go about adopting?
Well, they can call Dante's Den at 941-219-3730, and we will be happy to take your application. We have a very in-depth interview, and then we do a home inspection.
There you go.
Very important. And then we introduce you to Kilo and see if she would like to go home with you.
Beautiful, beautiful animal. Marsh, thanks for bringing me in. Really do appreciate it.
Thanks,
Girl,
John.
have a wonderful,
She'll
wonderful
give you a kiss.
month, because I think this month you are going to get a home, a permanent home. Yeah. Scott?
Beautiful dog. All right, thank you both. There's plenty of holiday entertainment ahead this weekend. The Venice Holiday Boat Parade is set for Saturday night, and there's much more going on. Here's ABC 7's Linda Carson with the Suncoast Scene.
The Sarasota Ballet presents Metropolitan, 3 ballets, all with a New York connection. It starts with a world premiere by Marcelo Gomez.
It's to Beethoven music and is very exciting. Immensely hard work for the dancers, but it's going to be really uplifting.
The second ballet is Illumination by Sir Frederick Ashton.
Then we finish with one of Mr. Balanchine, George Balanchine's true imperial Russian flair, and that's Theme and Variations, which again has never been done by this company before.
The Sarasota Ballet presents Metropolitan at the Sarasota Opera House Friday and Saturday nights at 7:30 and Saturday afternoon at 2. And Saturday night at 7, the 2017 Sarasota Christmas Parade steps off down Main Street, this year with a circus theme. And people from all over the world are flocking to Bradenton this weekend for the Bradenton Blues Fest.
Bradenton and Sarasota are really becoming a hub for the blues internationally. And we have people from 5 foreign countries, 35 states, and 225 zip codes in Florida.
Saturday is a sellout. You can come on Friday night for a free concert right here. It starts at 6 o'clock. And Friday, Suncoast kids get a taste of the blues. They'll meet Vanessa Collier, one of the stars of the Blues Fest.
The proceeds from our festival from Saturday support our blues in the schools, and it's this Friday with Vanessa Collier at Manatee High for 400 aspiring music students and patrons.
And on Sunday, a different kind of music. The Celtic Music Festival is at the Sarasota Opera House. There'll be great entertainment.
A medley of Christmas selections, some good Celtic classics, some good foot tapping music, and really to get you in the holiday spirit.
Motown Christmas opens at the West Coast Black Theater this week, and already most shows are sellouts. But there are a few tickets left for Saturday night if you call the box office.
But it's a review of Motown songs and Motown Christmas songs. It's a very spirited show. You can't help but sway and dance and go down memory lane.
What a weekend! Parades, blues, bagpipes, and ballet. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A lot going on. Thank you so much, Linda. We'll be right back with more news.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Since the arrest of the suspected Seminole Heights killer in Tampa, many want to know the status of the $110,000 reward money. Crime Stoppers announced yesterday it would give $5,000 it promised to the McDonald's manager who turned Howell Donaldson over to police. The day before, Columbia restaurant owner Richard Gonsmart, who pledged $9,000, made good on his promise, hand delivering it to the Ybor City McDonald's employee. The status of the remaining $96,000 in promised reward money is still uncertain, and Crime Stoppers explains it's not as simple as just writing a check. Crime Stoppers officials say 5 different donors have to coordinate distribution of the funds through the organization, and the donors have been notified how to do it. The Florida Everglades is now the most critically endangered site in the United States. That's according to a study out this month from the International Union for Conservation of Nature, a Switzerland-based nonprofit that studied more than 200 natural wonders around the globe. Among the worst threats to the Everglades, the changed water flow caused by a system of dams and canals. The study also cites invasive species and climate change as additional contributing factors. Hurricane season is over, and Florida Keys residents celebrated by burning hurricane warning flags last night. Nearly 400 Keys residents gathered to watch as the flags went up in flames. The ceremony was held by members of the Florida Keys Ceremonial Conch Republic Administration. Guest speakers honored the victims of Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria that ripped through parts of the U.S., Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean.
This hurricane season, little note, is going down in the history books right now as the most expensive hurricane season in the history of hurricane seasons.
Attendees were encouraged to donate to Keys Strong, a post-storm aid fund. A battle between state and constitutional law, leaving people confused about whether their Second Amendment rights are still valid if they have a medical marijuana card. The information is all in the form people fill out when purchasing a firearm. It asks them to reveal if they're an unlawful user of or addicted to a controlled substance, including marijuana. People are sometimes confused in states where medical marijuana is legalized. The warning on the next line states the ban applies whether marijuana has been legalized or decriminalized for medicinal or recreational purposes in the state where you reside.
People are going to look at that and say, oh, I'm not unlawful, I'm licensed by my state.
Despite state law, possession of medical marijuana while having or buying a gun can carry a penalty of up to 10 years in jail. And for the latest on local and breaking news, you need to download the updated version of our news app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and re-download this app by searching for WWSB or My Suncoast. The old version of the app expired yesterday, and we don't want you to miss out on what's happening here on the Suncoast. Englewood Elementary School came up with a new way for students to handle bullying or stress. If any of the students is feeling overwhelmed, whether by bullying, problems at home, or maybe they just need a friend, they sit on a designated yellow bench on the playground. Other students then sit with them and offer comfort. The school has installed 3 of these buddy benches with great success. So successful, in fact, even adults are using these benches. Many parents have been using the bench to meet other parents. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and the courts are partnering to make sure the holidays are a little nicer for kids who are in state care. More than 1,500 children have been removed from their homes because of abuse or neglect. So starting today, the Sheriff's Office will accept toy donations for children ranging in age from newborns to 18 years old. The Sheriff's Office is asking for toys and gift cards and to refrain from donating clothing or stuffed animals. And tomorrow in Manatee County, the West Bradenton Crime Watch and Bradenton Police Department are hosting their 5th annual Safe Kids Fair. There will be free bike helmets handed out and IDs available for kids, as well as face painting, food, and even service vehicles, including a Bayflight helicopter and a fire truck. The fair will run from 9 to 2 on 19th Avenue West at the Westminster Presbyterian Church in Bradenton. So are you enjoying life here on the Suncoast? Well, National Geographic and the Gallup poll have taken notice. The two organizations collaborating to create a list of the 25 happiest places to live, and the Sarasota-Manatee area ranked 14th on the list. Some of the factors the poll considered: financial security, vacation time, dental quality, and the ability to learn something new every day. Boulder, Colorado, by the way, ranked at the top of the list. Collier County was the only other Florida location, coming in at 11th. Dental quality, huh, John?
So Boulder has better dental quality than we do?
I don't know.
Doubt that.
I know.
Yeah, oh well. I think it's a great place to live, especially today when the weather is so fantastic.
Yep, definitely.
Low relative humidity, plenty of sunshine, a nice breezy wind out of the northeast, making it feel just absolutely exquisite this afternoon. Yeah. Daytime highs top out mild, and as we head into the afternoon, I think we'll see more of what we saw all morning long on the Lakewood Ranch webcam. That is some pretty nice blue skies, peppered with a few fair weather clouds from time to time. Those clouds really not an issue. The few that we will see today will not lead to really anything in the way of rain showers. Temperatures at this hour are running about where they did 24 hours ago, and our daytime high temperature will be about the same as it was 24 hours ago. Currently, we're looking at temperatures most everywhere that are pretty close to the 80-degree mark. We've got some cloud cover to the north of us still. That's all part of a frontal boundary that won't make it through our area. It stays stuck north of us. Daytime high comes in the low 80s, and then this evening, beautiful, almost full moon. The full moon is actually on Monday, but close enough this weekend. It'll be a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Talk about a cold blast of air coming our way in just a few minutes, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Now to that verdict getting so much reaction earlier this morning. An undocumented immigrant found not guilty in the 2015 shooting death of Kate Steinle. President Trump used her death as a rallying cry for tougher immigration laws during the election. And today, the White House press secretary releasing a statement saying yesterday's verdict in San Francisco underscores the danger to public safety when our nation fails to enforce its laws, continuing to say that Garcia Zarate and countless other criminal illegal immigrants like him should never be allowed to threaten our citizens. ABC's Clayton Sandell has the defense's response.
After 6 days deliberating, a San Francisco jury came back with a verdict many did not expect. Jose Inez Garcia Zarate found not guilty of murder or manslaughter.
We believe the verdict is a correct and accurate reflection of the law.
The family of Kate Steinle has waited 2 painful years to learn the fate of the man accused of shooting and killing the 32-year-old.
She loved us, and I miss her greatly.
Garcia Zarate admitted shooting Kate Steinle, but said he was innocent, claiming he found the gun, and when he picked it up, it accidentally fired. An expert defense witness told the jury the gun was prone to firing accidentally. The case supercharged the illegal immigration debate during the presidential election. Garcia Zarate was a convicted felon, deported 5 times.
We're going to shut down the sanctuary cities that have led the preventable deaths of so many.
In the weeks before the shooting, Garcia Zarate was in jail on drug charges. Those charges were dropped, and city officials set him free, ignoring a federal ICE request to hold him.
This case was used as a means to foment hate, to foment division, to foment a program of mass deportation.
Steinle's father told the San Francisco Chronicle the verdict came as a shock, saying justice was rendered, but it was not served. President Trump tweeting too, calling the verdict disgraceful. Garcia Zarate was convicted on a minor weapons charge. For that, he could serve some jail time, but after that, federal immigration officials say they will work to deport him again. Clayton Sandell, ABC News, San Francisco.
Federal prosecutors are seeking a 60-year prison sentence for disgraced former USA Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar. The federal case alleges he possessed child porn and tried to hide the evidence. They say those activities are closely linked to the state charges alleging he sexually abused girls and women in his care. Nassar has already pleaded guilty in 2 Michigan county courts to sexually abusing his patients. In all, 125 women allege Nassar sexually abused them. Today in Nottingham, Prince Harry and his fiancée, Meghan Markle, arrived to hundreds of fans waiting out in the bitter cold to get a glimpse of the newest royal family-to-be. Their visit today to the Terrence Higgins HIV charity was a cause near and dear to Harry's mother, Diana's heart. As Meghan gives up her acting career, the two are dedicated now to finding meaningful and impactful humanitarian work. Sure will do well in that effort. Let's get back over to the kitchen. John is with our good friend, Chef Narendra, the owner of Curry Station in Sarasota. John?
It is always fun having Narendra in the kitchen. You know, I think one of the great things about your restaurant and the food you prepare is how aromatic it is. The smells are just amazing.
And also it's very healthy.
Very healthy food.
Yeah.
What are you cooking for us today?
Today, I'm a seafood lover, so today I create the dish with the scallop curry. If you like the scallops, and you need to try this scallop
this
curry.
dish is going to send you over the top, is it?
Oh yes,
Okay.
this is out of this world, I'm telling you.
All right, I'm ready.
So I just marinated with a little bit turmeric, fennel powder, and salt.
Okay.
And
so it's also good for arthritis.
It is, it is.
Because of the turmeric.
And very pinch of the ginger garlic paste. And we just sear it. It's very simple. We're going to add a little bit of oil more here.
What is that? Oil?
This is the vegetable oil.
Okay.
So we're going to add some cumin seed here.
Nice.
A little bit mustard seed. And these are the curry leaves.
Okay. I didn't know that. I did not know curry leaves were...
I grow at house. These are very fresh. Now you can smell like it's very good.
So is there a curry bush?
I mean, these are very good for tempering in the curry dish. That's why they call like a curry leaf, this one.
Okay.
Actually, curry means something is like you cook with the sauce. That's what it is. And I have some sauteed onion and tomatoes here. This one we're gonna put it here a little bit on the side. And I have some spices here, like a coriander powder. I have some little bit chili. If you need more heat, you can add more.
A little bit of heat.
Yeah, and we have some cumin.
More cumin.
We have some little bit fennel. And we have, of course, we need to put some turmeric, you know.
I love
this is the best. And I have some here hing powder. We call hing.
Hing?
But, yeah, this is like asafoetida. This is kind of like a very medicinal spice. And it brings your dish to the next level. It's really, really amazing.
H-I-N-G?
Yes.
Hing. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So
is this it over here?
Yes.
Right here?
Yeah, smell it. You can taste it if you want it. Yeah.
Very unusual flavor. That's
it is.
excellent.
And we're gonna add a little bit coconut milk here to give the nice smooth gravy and the nice color here.
Oh,
look
beautiful.
at this.
Wow.
And your dish is almost ready. And of course, we need to add a little bit salt in here. And we're gonna finish with the cilantro leaves.
Of course.
And a little bit of acid we needed here. So we have some lemon juice.
Some lemon juice. Okay.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that looks really, really good.
You can smell, right? And you can eat with this any side, like a plain rice or any kind of bread. If you have like you can buy any bread from Publix, you can dip with that.
Oh, I love
so
your
amazing.
breads, though.
And also, of course, naan or paratha, you can do it. But I prepared something, it's called khichdi. It has a rice, lentils, and vegetables all together.
Nice.
It's kind of risotto, but Indian risotto, you can say.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So we're gonna top this one with scallops first.
And while you plate this up, I want to remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go on there, and all the video instructions, the recipe, the whole guide will be right there for you.
It's pretty simple, isn't it?
It is simple,
and
but I tell you what, those are not spices that I would typically have in my house, so I'm going to have to come to your place to get this.
Of course. And there is one store also in Sarasota. You can get all the spices there.
And where's that?
It's on the 17 and the Lockwood Ridge.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Bismillah Grocery.
Oh, okay.
So it has like all the Indian spices over there.
So jump on our website, get your grocery list, and head right on over there. And look at all these other beautiful dishes you brought for us today. Such a pleasure having you here, Chef. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It smells fantastic.
Of course, taste was also very good.
I can't wait for a fork. I can't wait to tuck in. This looks absolutely great.
If you want to taste, we have the fork over there.
Ah.
Yes, please.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? you'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
Attention blood thinner users. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Nice air temperature coming in at 78 degrees. We have a dew point value of 62, which is a very comfortable dew point. We have plenty of sunshine out there with some drier air aloft. And we have an east-northeast wind at about 6. That northerly component to the wind is going to be with us right straight through the weekend, I think, and that's going to help with a couple of things. One, it's going to give us a cool, crisp morning as the dew point values will be lowered during the overnight, and it's going to allow for very quiet conditions across the Sun Coast. Few scattered showers over on the other coast. I don't think we'll see anything here locally. Some showers to the north of us, but those showers are kind of in the process of falling apart. The frontal boundary that's producing these showers stalled out now over North Florida, and basically it's just going to fall apart. A couple areas of high pressure to the north of it will eventually bridge over this little area of low pressure, scoot it out into the Atlantic. Front will wash away, and we'll be left with very pleasant conditions through the weekend. Now back to the west, there's another low pressure area right here kind of gaining steam. It's going to move into the center part of the country, tap into some colder Arctic air sinking southward. That's where all the cold air has been now for over a week, locked to the north, up in the Arctic, up in Canada, as the jet stream has just not dipped far enough south to allow that cold air to penetrate too very far. So we've had temperatures that have been, in the 50s across the northern tier, which is pretty remarkable for this time of year. Now the frontal boundary beginning to fall apart. We'll watch it continue to do so till it's just an old trough of low pressure left over. Our winds continue out of the north, bringing mostly sunny skies, a dry weekend, and comfortable relative humidity. As we head into the next couple of days, I think we'll enjoy a continuation of the dry conditions across our area. The front to the north will continue to fall apart. High pressure will continue to build in. And the warm streak that we have had for so many days will continue. But watch what happens to this cold air in the long term. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into next Saturday, the cold air begins to sink south in the east. And in fact, dips down far enough that we here in Florida get a little taste of it as well. Now, it won't be the Arctic outbreak like they may have for a time along the Great Lakes, especially the eastern Great Lakes, but it certainly will be significantly cooler with nighttime lows in some places in inland areas in the 40s and closer to the coastline in the 50s, and daytime highs kept down into the 60s. So a lot of the day, Thursday, Friday, particularly Friday and Saturday, are going to be spent in the 50s and low 60s, and it could be a little breezy. So watch out for the end of next weekend. It's going to be certainly a different thing than we have seen over the last week and a half or so. North wind coming in at about 5 to 10, becoming north, light chop, 2-foot seas, and the forecast looks great. Over the next several days, expect daytime highs in the low 80s, nighttime lows in the 60s, meaning most evenings will be in the 70s. Rain-free skies through Wednesday of next week. Then a slight chance of some showers, followed by some cooler temperatures. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Following a scheduling glitch that left American Airlines without enough pilots to cover flights during the holiday season, the airline now says only a few hundred of its late December flights remain without pilots. The pilots union had said that more than 15,000 flights lacked a captain, co-pilot, or both. But now an airline spokesman said pilots were picking up extra flights, and the airline had more on-call pilots in December than during other months. Google is struggling when it comes to its phones and other gadgets. Its new Pixel 2 phones initially received high marks, but then the users began complaining about burned-in after images on their screens, a bluish tint, and unresponsive touch commands. Then Google's Home Mini smart speaker was caught always listening, and its wireless Pixel Buds headset received terrible reviews for a cheap look and feel and mediocre sound quality. There are concerns that Obamacare enrollment could fall short by millions of Americans in 2018. Nearly 2.8 million people have already signed up on the federal exchange so far. That's about 700,000 more than the same time last year. But the Trump administration has cut the open enrollment period short. It now ends on December 15th instead of the end of January. Obamacare supporters worry many people may not realize they have less time to sign up. 9.2 million people used the exchange last year. And the future is here. Tesla unveiling its biggest battery in the world. It's powered by wind and it is massive. The battery is larger than the size of a football field, and it's powered by a nearby wind farm and can be switched on at a moment's notice. It's already in use after storms hit South Australia. Incredible. All right, still to come in your Suncoast News, the annual Christmas tree lighting on St. Armand's Circle is set for tonight. We'll have a preview right after this.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
You were here long before any of us were here. Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
The president calls a U.S. Senator Pocahontas while speaking to Native Americans. Trump retweets an anti-Muslim video. I'm Alan Cohn. No tweeting while watching the trapezoid.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Have a great holiday.
Happy holidays from ABC7.
Happening tonight, the annual tree lighting and holiday night of lights on St. Armand Circle in Sarasota. There will be caroling, music, and a special visit from Santa as well. If you can't make it to the event, we'll show it to you live during our evening newscasts. And it's a big day for Taylor Swift fans. Her new album, Reputation, is finally available for streaming. Until now, you had to buy it if you wanted to hear it, but now it's available on things like Spotify and Apple Music. Another hit from Taylor Swift. That's what she does.
Indeed.
The hit maker.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder if those streaming music services will ever provide us with the album covers like we used to have that had all the great notes in it.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock. Hope to see you then.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.